Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we are checking out Tokoyami Towa's My Roar. Now a lot of you have been telling me to check this one out, so I'm pretty excited to get into it. And a lot of you have also recommended that I check out Banzuin Haka's cover of this, so I will be checking that out after I check out the original. So let's just jump in. I'm ready to check this out in 3, 2, 1, play. Okay. Oh, okay. I was not expecting that. That is way too much suppression, but okay. 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 I am absolutely in love with the instrumental, but why are the vocals so suppressed? The vocals do not need that much suppression. Why are the vocals that suppressed? I love the instrumental. I love how much bass we're getting in there. I just wish, just let the vocals free. You know, I am assuming that because it's called like My Roar, I'm assuming we're kind of coming out of that suppression into like a big projection. But I would have liked a little bit less suppression on those introductory vocals. Like I like this here. Oh. Those are some nice high notes. I love when we get that her voice in the mix, but the pitch correction and the suppression, it feels like she's like fighting against whoever mixed this. You know, it feels like whoever mixed this and the vocals are like fighting against each other to pop out more. I just want to hear Towa's vocals. I want to hear how she sounds over the track. Not a big fan of the suppression, not a big fan of the pitch correction. I am a big fan of how her vocals sound when we don't have that. I mean, listen to how just her voice sounds under that instrument or over that instrumental. That sounds awesome. I will say, what I do like is the pitch correction isn't being used as a way to supplement the vocals. It's just being used as almost like an instrumental flair. So I am very appreciative of that. You know, that the pitch correction isn't being used to substitute anything. It's just being used as an interjection. This instrumentation is so good. Listen to that wobble. It's like a wah pedal on the instrumentation. That the instrumentation is done so well. I absolutely love the arrangement we've got here. Man. I know I'm pausing a lot, but listen to that bass pulse when it sounds like the Doom soundtrack when that bass kicks, the bass guitar kicks in. Ooh, listen to how that guitar reinforces the lift. When we have that instrumental lift, you have the guitar pop in on the higher treble tonalities there. That was actually really nice. I don't think I noticed that before. That was really solid. Nice. Nice. That's beautiful. I was really hoping for growl there. It seems like we're supplementing growl with suppression, which I am not a massive fan of, but I can see the aesthetic. You know, I can see the appeal because they essentially they have a similar, you know, application here. The suppression or a growl, it could have, you know, similar application because the suppression, it does add that slight bit of, you know, it pushes down the vocal and it makes it, you know, by proxy a very more bassy, I suppose, and it also adds that this slight distortion. You know, I hesitate to say distortion because it's not necessarily distorted vocals. It's just that slight bit of, you know, it adds a variable to the vocal that it makes it more low and more intense, similar to how a growl would affect a vocal. But I don't think it adds the aggression that a growl can. And with an instrumental like this, a growl is, I mean, it's needed. You need a growl over an instrumentation like this. It's just too good of an opportunity to pass up. So I'm really hoping that even with the suppression, I hope it leads into a growl or at least some sort of big belt. Because without that, I feel like the instrumentation is so good, but I feel like the vocal composition wise isn't matching up to it. The vocalists themselves, you know, Towa here is doing an incredible job, but I feel like the mix keeps fighting and trying to keep the vocals down with the suppression, with just the composition in general. I feel like we're not getting the same intensity in the vocals that the instrumentation is giving us. Okay. 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 Alright. Okay. Alright, listen. I'm a big fan of the song so far, but well, I'm a big fan of the instrumentation. The instrumentation has been flawless. I've had no qualms about the instrumentation so far. I'm absolutely in love with the instrumental. The vocalist, Towa, is doing an incredible job, but why it feels like every big moment that we get for the instrumental, that it hypes up, we get this build up, we get this energy into the mix that's hyping up the vocals, and we're ready to belt out. And we got one big belt there with a high pitched belt out with Towa there after we had the build up with the suppression. But like even the growl, you know, I mentioned the growl, the suppression got harsher. We added that like almost like a megaphone-esque effect into our suppression with the before we had that big belt out with Towa there. It just feels like the vocal effects, the mix is constantly trying to push the vocalist away from center stage. It feels like Towa manages to fight her way into the center stage. She's ready to sing out, and then we have this stutter effect with like autotune, and it's like we have so much acoustic appeal through this instrumentation, but we keep getting these digital effects over the vocals that, in my opinion, feel like they're cutting back on the effectiveness of the song. You know, we have so many opportunities to add growl, add rasp, add these little inflections into the vocals, have these little runs in the vocals, add a bit of a growl, belt out, and then add a growl after that belt to emphasize the intensity of the song. But instead, we're just going for, you know, these gimmicks with digital effects. And some people really like that. Some people really enjoy that. But that's not really my thing. And I feel a little bit let down because this instrumentation is so amazing. I love it so much, but I feel like And Toa's doing amazing too. Her vocals are incredible, but it feels like her vocal tracks are, or even just the vocal composition itself, isn't allowing her to embrace the demeanor, the atmosphere that the instrumentation is creating. It's not a bad aesthetic, and obviously, you know, I suppose the aesthetic that I want from the song isn't what they're going for. And at the end of the day, that's just a different goal from what I want their goal to be. So it's just my preference, it's just my opinion. But I would have really, really liked if we got more of Toa instead of the suppression effects and the autotune effects and, you know, all the megaphone effects and stuff. I would have really liked more of just the growls, the rasps, little inflections, little runs we got from her. Like, this sounds awesome right here. Like, this is incredible. And I love the vocal layering here. Yeah, like the parts where we just get Toa in the instrumentation and it's just unobstructed and we get the vocal backings, that sounded awesome. I loved that so much. But it's just the moments where the effects try to interfere is like, I get that they're trying to enhance the intensity in the moment, but to me, it does the opposite. It takes away from the acoustic intensity of the song. Like right here. Sorry, I might have gone a little too late. But I suppose you can compare the suppression there to the natural vocal. Let me try to find that point where the autotune kicked in. A little before this. So we get that big belt out, we get this awesome instrumentation, and then how do we follow it up? And then we follow it up with the autotune segment. Right there. And we had an opportunity for another big belt, an opportunity to add more growl, but instead we go for a digital stutter effect with autotune. And it's those moments where I feel like it's just lost potential to me. Obviously, you know, a lot of people really like that. A lot of people love that aesthetic. But it's just not my preference. I would have liked for that moment to be embraced, for them to shoot out for that. Let the vocalists show off their projection. Let them show off the power in their voice. But instead, it feels like every time the voice tries to add power, every time Toa tries to add more aggression, intensity into her vocals, the digital effects try to hold her back. And that's my big complaint overall. The composition, instrumentation wise, was amazing. I loved it. But it feels like we had an amazing vocalist, an amazing instrumentation, and then we were like, no, this vocalist is too good. We cannot allow her to optimally cover this instrumentation. We need to chop it up and add some effects to hold it back. It feels like, to me, that's what it feels like the thought process behind this mix was, and it feels like a big letdown to me. But yeah, I know a lot of people really do love this song, so obviously there's a lot of people who did not feel the same way I do. But in terms of my preference, I would have liked for more of an acoustic approach to the vocals. But Toa did an amazing job. We got some awesome vocals when we could just hear her outright. I just would have liked more of that. I would have liked to hear how she grew the intensity in her voice and how she added to that. I know I may be kind of rambling on about this one topic, but it does feel like a bit of a letdown to me. But let me know what you guys think. I know I'm kind of maybe being a little too harsh on it, but it is my preference towards the song. I know a lot of people don't have that preference and like the song as it is. So let me know what your personal take on it is. Let me know why you think the song would be better or worse based on my take on it, or why you think, my take on the song isn't applicable, or, just let me know what your opinion is on the song in the comments below. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for suggesting this. I will be checking out Haka's cover of this as well. I want to see what his take on the song was. I know that Haka is more of a metalhead, so I'm interested to see if he kind of went for that more acoustic approach. So we'll be checking that out later. Thank you very much for watching. As always, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more reactions. Aside from that, I will see you all next time. Thank you so much.